Hi, I'm McGoran and I'm a PhD researcher at Royal Holloway University of London and the Natural History Museum.
I work on plastic pollution, usually in the River Thames in the UK, but I've had the fantastic opportunity of working with some deep sea fishes from the South Atlantic. Here are just some of the amazing creatures I got to look at. These fish were caught 1,000 metres below the ocean surface, and even here they are ingesting microplastics. Back on the Thames, we trawl for fish, crabs, shrimp and plastic. We take 5 samples in the water column, between the surface and the riverbed, and 5 on the riverbed, to sample fish that live at the bottom of the river and those that swim in the middle. Here you can see we're bringing the net in to find out what is in our sample. We empty the sample into a tray so that we can sort it. We want to know what species we've caught and how much plastic there is. You can see there's lots of fish, but also lots of pieces of plastic. Let's take a closer look. Here you can see a net potentially holding chocolate coins or maybe oranges at one time. This is a piece of packaging. But we also have cups and fragments of other packaging and even a piece of sanitary pad. This pad would have been flushed down the toilet and has ended up in the Thames. In just 4 sampling trips over 1 year, nearly 350 pieces of litter were recovered from the Thames. That's more than there are steps to the top of Big Ben Tower. And if you stack that plastic end to end in its longest dimension, it's 70% the tower's height as well. Not all the plastic we collect is coffee cups and packaging. Some of it is much larger. For example, in one of our early trawls, we pulled out a whole tyre. Plastic in the Thames can be quite diverse and it's very abundant. 200 tonnes a year are removed from the Thames. That's the weight of a blue whale. After removing all the plastic, we document which species we've collected in our nets. After sampling, the animals are brought back to the lab for dissection. I remove the stomach, intestines and gills from every animal that I study. To make it easier to find microplastics in samples, we digest them, which removes a lot of the organic material. These digestions are then filtered so that we have a filter with only a small amount of material on it to search through. Here you can see the sample being vacuum filtered. As you can see, very little material remains after digestion. After digestion, these samples are then searched. This is using mounted pins under a microscope, meticulously going through the sample. This example is some fish bones from the gills. All of the soft tissue has been digested and only the white bone remains. This is what it looks like under the microscope. The white filter is what collects the particles, and I sieve through them with pins. You can't see any plastic in this sample. The Thames Estuary is a diverse ecosystem supporting over 100 species of fish, grey seals, common seals, crabs and shrimp. Although chemically speaking, the river is the cleanest it has ever been, plastic is still a problem and is ingested by many of the animals calling the estuary home. About 7% of shrimp have plastic in the digestive tract, and on average 28% of fish in the Thames are eating microplastics. Even seals have plastic in their digestive tracts. Unfortunately, our studies show that many species in the Thames are affected by plastic, but not all equally. Crabs in the Thames are particularly affected by plastic pollution. Here you can see the intestines of a crab, which I am searching and removing the blue pieces of plastic, which are visible even through the gut lining. The story gets worse when we look at the stomach, where tangles of plastic form. Here, over 100 pieces of plastic, mostly fibres, but also an elastic piece of balloon. So that's a little bit about me and my research. Thank you for listening. Remember, wildlife and plastic do not mix, so please dispose of your litter responsibly. Thank you to my sponsors who have helped with this project.